Welcome to another Monday Blitz. Today we continue to look at 1 Samuel, this time chapter 19. As I was looking at that chapter, it made me stop and wonder about where I seek to find my identity. Who do I seek my approval of? Here is Saul wrestling with this struggle with David, and it's all over who is supposedly most successful, who is most recognized, does he receive his praise from? And David seems to be just going along with his life, just living his life, following God's leading, and it continually, repeatedly, over and over seems to mess with Saul's mental well-being. Why? Because Saul was using and seeking human approval for his identity. And I started thinking about my own identity. Is it easy for me to begin to think and measure my identity by the supposed success I'm experiencing, or even the failures I'm not having? And in that struggle, I look to people. Do people think I'm doing a good job? Am I being praised for what I've done? Are people recognizing what I'm doing, or is the praise going to somebody else? Maybe somebody is doing things that I think I should receive the praise for. I should be recognized for what I've done. That's the temptation, isn't it? I bet you perhaps have also gone through that in some ways of your part of your life where you feel like you should be the one being recognized, and yet somebody else is being praised for what you have done. Or maybe it's you have thought the idea up. Maybe you're not actually doing it, but you thought of the idea, and there's never a mention and never a recognition. And you begin to question yourself. Am I doing the right things? Do I need to do something different? And as we see in the story between David and King Saul, David is living his life and Saul is jealous. He is angry. He in fact gets so angry he decides he is going to kill David because David seems to be successful. He appears to be the one winning. And yet throughout, the author of 1 Samuel says God is in charge. So where do you find your identity? As I think of this passage of Scripture and I've been praying about it and stuff, I look at it and I realize we must seek to have our identity only through Jesus, only through God, because none of us are successful on our own. David was not successful because he just happened to be doing those things. It was because God planned for him to lead. God planned for him to do those activities at those times, and David followed God's leading. So I invite you today to think about, where is God leading you? How can you allow God to shape your identity, where you recognize yourself not by what you have done, but what Christ has done for you? And that you and I, we are children of God, blessed to be able to claim God as our Father, and that our identity is found as children of God, not the things we do. Until next time.